has done extensive work in the area of communication networks with focus on security of the networks. So I'll stop here and leave the floor to Professor Durresi.
Thank you very much for inviting me here, especially Professor Bertino. My name is Arjan Durresi. I'm with the Department of Computer and Information Science, Purdue School of Science at Indianapolis, IUPUI. Here's my information, my web page and my email address in case you might need some follow-up information. Today I will be talking about some security issues related to the next internet and especially over some heterogeneous environments. So here's the overview of the talk. I will spend a little bit of time to justify so-called the new internet and why we might need a new architecture for this internet and why the security will be probably the most important, the essential part of this architecture. Then I will describe shortly a proposal we are working, a new architecture, which includes security. And then in this spirit of security over heterogeneous environment, I will describe several of projects we are working. For example, security over continuity in sensor networks, security over heterogeneous environments where you have some nodes, mobile and some stationary, security over some networks of cell phones used in emergency situations, and combination of cell phones and sensor networks. So first of all, why we might need a new internet, and I will describe in more details what that word new might mean. So basically, the internet is somehow old. It's been 40 years ago they was invented and implemented, and there are several requirements which need more attention, and probably security is the first one. So basically, even though the research community has been working very hard to improve the security of the internet, still we are behind. For example, we are behind telephone network. Telephone network is much more secure than the internet, and as I said, we are trying hard, and probably now is the time to question the way we are trying. And other things which are, it's not only security, but many other aspects of the internet which might need improvement, like to make it more manageable, to make it more business-friendly, market-friendly. There are several non-technical aspects to be considered, as I said, economic and also social context. So this is kind of, in this point of time, a lot of researchers are working in this area. And actually, to capture this why new internet, probably this figure will be kind of good example. So basically, the internet was designed, started with 4 nodes, kind of research experiment, and today we are talking about millions and probably in the near future about billions of nodes. And of course, I mean, it has been kind of almost a miracle that the same architecture has been working. When I say miracle, actually it's a lot of work, hard work by our research community these years. But still, one can think now that probably in this new reality where the dimensions are much bigger, we might need some new strategies, some new architecture. So as I said, this could be considered kind of very interesting time because not often people have the chance, community has the chance to challenge the architecture of the internet. So basically there is kind of consensus that new applications, new services might need more freedom, which the existing architecture might not be able to give it. There are new technologies going to the internet, like sensor networks, for example, which cannot have IP address, which have a lot of restrictions about energy and so on. Mobility has been a problem. We are aware that internet today is not very good about mobility. Security, as I said, we have continuous problems. And as I said, new services, new applications might need new things. Now, this is not just anymore just talk, thinking about the internet. In US, National Science Foundation is funding a lot of research in this area. We are talking about several hundred millions of funding already done and going on. Also other parts of the world like Europe, Japan are very aggressively funding and doing research in this area. So it's not anymore just talk, but it's also a walk. Now, why I say new here, quotation, is that even though we talk about the new internet, most likely the internet won't change overnight. Basically, won't be kind of revolution. So that 12 o'clock, you turn off the old internet, and 12:01 start the new one. Most likely this smooth transition, more than kind of new internet, will be kind of enhancement of the existing one. So this is at least my point of view. So in this slide, I will go very fast about things which, several features which we believe need to be improved, and I will focus mostly on security. So basically, energy, efficiency, most of devices today are supposed to be on. And in the future, most likely, the opposite will be true. An example of this new reality are our cell phones, which mostly sleep, and they work only when they are needed. Mobility is a big issue. So today, nodes mostly are stationary, and when they move, we have problems. And in the future, mostly, we will like our internet to follow us like a cell phone. Other things are the interface, human-computer interface will be more and more user-friendly and personal-friendly. End users won't be anymore just single computers, will be kind of distributed kind of array of small computers doing several things, which leads us to protocol design. Most of the protocols today are symmetric. They don't distinguish big computers, small computers. In the future, we may have little devices talking to big servers, and of course, they cannot talk the same language, have to divide responsibilities. This leads to security. When internet was designed, nobody thought about security because there was no need for security. It was a research project, a few nodes, and now we are using the internet for anything: commerce, health, defense, and of course, the trust has to be built. It's not kind of given. The ownership, when it was designed, was a research project. Now it's business. It's provided by companies, by administrations. And some other more technical issues like sharing resources. For example, not always sharing is a good thing. Sometimes we might need isolation, depending on the case. For example, today internet is based only on packets, but packets are good for some things and secrets are good for other things. So in the future we may have both of them, packet and switching and wavelengths and other things to be switched. And the last, which is the most important, applications. Today we have email and web, and in the future, of course, we think we will have much more. And one glimpse of the future, for sure we have much more video. We see YouTube and we see other type of applications, which will need more services from the network. Now, with these things in mind, let us focus more on security. So basically, what we are doing in security, our way of fixing security is by putting patches. So we find the problem, we design a patch, we install the patch, and the next problem is there to be patched again. So basically, this cannot go forever. The other thing is that mostly our security is based on the node, so we try to build our castle to protect our node, okay? And this also is not a good idea, as I will explain. And our view about the security of the internet is that why don't we learn from the real life? In real life, we have security, right? Let us apply those lessons